Hello there, Mr. Buckle back with problem number 15 from your Algebra Chapter 1 practice test, where we have a table and we have to use a graph to show whether these two expressions, x squared and 2x, are equivalent. So we're going to complete the table, and then we're going to plot the points and see if they're equivalent. So we have two different expressions here, and various values of x. So we have x equals -3, and we're going to plug in -3 into x squared, which means we're going to do -3 times -3, which will be 9. So when x is -3, right there, x squared is 9. Then I'm going to plug in -1. When x is -1, -1 times -1 is 1. So when x is -1, x squared is 1. When we plug in 0, 0 squared is 0. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. And now x squared is completed. Now we're going to do the same thing with 2x. So -3 times 2 is -6. 2 times -3 is -6, so that goes here. Then we're going to plug in -1, and we'll get -2. Then we're going to plug in 0. 2 times 0 is 0. Then we're going to plug in 1 and get 2, because 1 times 2 is 2. And then plug in 2, and we'll get 4. Or, I'm sorry, that should be a 4. Oh my gosh, that should totally be a 4. All right, so let's keep moving here, and I'll fix that later. This should be a 4, not an 8. My mistake. So now we're going to take this, and there's that misprint there. That should be a 4. Unbelievable. Now I'm going to plot these points on the graph, and I'm going to plot each of these pairs. So I'm going to plot -3, 9. -3, 9 is right there. We go over. These are counting by 2s, you'll notice, because it's 20. So -3, +9 is right there. Then I'm going to plot -1, 1, which is right there. Then I'm going to plot 0, 0, which is right there. Then I'm going to plot 1, 1, which is right there. And then I'm going to plot 2, 4, which is right there. And I made all those dots red because it's all from that first expression, x squared. Then I'm going to plot these points here, -3, -6. So -3, -6 is right there. And I made that green because it's a completely separate expression. Then I'm going to plot -1, -2, which is right here. And then I'm going to plot 0, 0, which is right there. And then I'm going to plot 1, 2, which is right there. And then I'm going to plot 2, 8, which should actually be 2, 4. So this should actually be moved down a little bit here. So you'll notice that this green doesn't actually make a straight line. And that makes sense because this point isn't right. Okay, so let's actually just kind of take that one away. So this is what we look at. And we're asked, are these the same? They're not the same, and we can clearly see that because the table of values don't match. Sure, they match in some places, but they don't match. And the graphs certainly don't match. The green points don't line up with the red points whatsoever. So therefore, these expressions are not equivalent. And despite the fact I made the mistake, and this should be a 4, we can still clearly see that these are not equivalent. Sorry for that mistake there.